Dude, I would rock the shit out of this thing. I really like this thing, honestly. Good job, Bob.
Thank you.
Not good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
And we're getting ready to do stainless brake lines in this. But
You're gonna swap that out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually told him, I'm like, we should probably do new brake lines. Drove up the street the other day, and literally in the first 5 seconds, freaking brake line broke here. We didn't get the chance to do it yet, but we'll fix it. But I mean, we don't need brakes for the dyno, so that's like the last. That's like the last touching piece on this thing, really.
Yeah.
That and the exhaust tips. So.
You want to tell us about this Squarebody you just finished up?
Yeah, the customer dropped it off with a LSA long block, so we built off of that. It's a stock supercharger with upgraded injectors, upper pulley, lower pulley, and a cam. Behind it, he wanted a manual, so we got a T56 Magnum that has a four-wheel drive adapter to the stock transfer case. We had to make a mount for that and then clock the transfer case to fit with everything. Had drive shafts from the rear made. Had to redo the four-wheel drive shifter. It had to be moved backwards because the T56 is longer than the factory. I think it was a Turbo 400 in it. So we had to modify the floor some for that. Obviously cut a hole for the 6-speed shifter. Moving on from that, we basically redid everything in the engine bay. It's got a nice big aluminum radiator with dual electric fans. It's got a heat exchanger up front for the supercharger. We have an ice tank in the bed of it. Not that it'll probably ever get ice, but just for the capacity. He wanted to keep the dual tanks, so what we did was got rid of the factory like switching valve. It runs just off of one tank, and then the second tank basically just feeds the other tank through the return line. You can just hit the switch and it'll pump fuel from the right tank to the left tank while you're running down the road. He's got his massive 24 by 14s with 35 by 15.5 inch tires, or as Fuzz would call it, 2-footers. It got vintage air as well, which is awesome because he's down in South Carolina. So right now it's probably not too bad, but 3 months from now and through the summer, it's gonna be nice and hot. It's all ran by Holley Dominator. Obviously engine, everything's through that. For your AC, when you click the AC on, it goes through the Holley so it can turn the fans on. If you hit the AC, you know, as soon as you start it, it's not up to temperature yet, you don't have any fans. Turn the fans on for that and keep them on in case they're cycling. It's got a Dakota Digital dash, speed, tach, engine temperature, engine oil pressure, fuel gauge, and I think it's like volts, all ran through the Holley. A little bit more accurate than probably some old gauges with weird senders and whatnot. I've only gone up and down the street for a second and ran it on a dyno, but so far everything's like super smooth. A transmission is just like awesome. It's like the nicest shifting transmission ever, especially for having, I think it's like a 16-inch shifter on it. It's still awesome.
Sweet.
That's that. Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think it's those wheel and tires gonna
60 wheel.
Let's take guesses. This combo is a cam, 917, 25 upper, no porta blower, some headers.
It's manual.
Manual on 93. By the way, yeah, it's 6-speed with 4-wheel drive. Still functions. That was a hassle. Holy shit.
I'm gonna go with this wheel and tire combo.
485.
Oh, see, I was gonna go 580.
Ooh, damn. I was gonna guess. I'll guess 501.
Yeah.
So if this was like a CTSV, I would think it'd be like mid to low 600s on 93.
Correct. That's where I'm thinking.
I don't know. I've never dynoed something with this tire on it before. He wanted me to put like a smaller wheel on it, but we couldn't find anything. I know how he is. He's really f***ing cool. And he don't really care about like how much it makes, he says. But I can tell you right now, if this thing makes 480, he's gonna tell me to pull the blower off and send it to Kong because he ain't gonna have it. I can just tell you right now. You know, it's not a race truck. He just wants
500 wheel in this thing.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be a blast.
It's gonna be a lot more fun than a 350 small block.
Yeah.
You know.
200 horsepower.
Yeah. I'm like really pumped to how this thing turned. That's like my first time sitting in it with the gauges all like done. Looks factory out, really, honestly.
This thing is you.
You think?
So, yeah.
Dude, I would rock the shit out of this thing. I really like this thing, honestly. This thing is sick.
I think it turned out well.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's like getting wrapped up, man. It's been here forever. We do not do LS swaps, FYI, only for Jerry Groves.
I was gonna say, this guy has that nasty V, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got a Noonan motor and that billet, everything. Twin 94s, I think. Pro Speed NHFR built it. That thing is like
So it's
really.
a pro mod.
Oh yeah, that thing's beautiful though. I mean, it's no expense spared on that thing. That's one cool thing about Jerry. Really laid back, doesn't bother me about nothing. Only asks for update once in a blue moon. Kind of leaves it up to us and what we think. He understands how much time and money it really takes to do something like this. Brown and Miller, everything. I mean, top to line, Wagner front, drive stuff, and it's
Cooling,
just.
air.
Oh yeah, AC, all of it. And it's actually for his wife. This is her truck, and I think she's mainly gonna drive it. So 500 might be enough for him. It would be enough for me. I wouldn't really. I don't know. And it's a Holly Dominator. Like, Bob did an extremely good job doing this whole thing. The wiring is fantastic on it. It's all underneath the dash. You can't see any of it. Just, it's really, really nice the way it turned out. Loud as f.
It is. Combo, the tires and the exhaust.
I need my fucking headphones. I didn't think I was gonna need my headphones. So I stood on it, I'm like, holy shit. I gotta pull up the torque.
Assuming you got a wideband in here.
Yeah, dual wideband. Like I said, like, no expense spared on this one, so I don't need it. I guess I could hook the wideband up for
It's not a big deal. It's gonna be hard because the exhaust of where
Yeah,
it is and stuff.
yeah.
So that's why I asked.
I can already tell you that, like, what did it make, 380 something? That's probably enough power. Like, just the way it felt in here. It felt like a 1,000 horsepower car. So right now we're like kind of low on gas. Just flip the switch over, it transfers from one tank to another. And like, we're almost on E. You'll see it go up over time. I don't know how long. Probably take a couple minutes really. But it's like a lot of time in this thing that a lot of people don't do on other, builds and stuff, and just cool little tricks like that make this thing really neat. It's at quarter tank now.
I was gonna say, wasn't the original plan to just run one of the tanks?
Yeah, and I asked him, and he's like, I don't know, what do you think? I was like, I don't know, it'd be cool to do two. It's not improper to do one, but just cool to be able to do two and make it work.
Not the easy way out.
Yeah, I don't like the easy way. You know how I am,
That's what I'm saying. Typically, if it takes more time, that's probably the right way to do it.
Yeah, literally. So, and we got these gauges to work. He wanted to look factory. He didn't want no screen or nothing in it. So, fans are super low. I'm turning off. But actually, if I select the key, it might work better. Yeah, see, we're at almost half. Well, it's fluctuating, but it's going up.
Sweet.
We're ready to make another pool.
Okay.
Like, it's probably my favorite thing we've done, honestly. And I don't even like doing projects like these at all.
Yeah. They always take way longer than expected.
Way longer.
Parts.
Yeah. Especially this year. Holy smokes with parts.
So how much boost is this thing making?
13.
That's it?
Yep.
Wow.
So I also have it really safe in like all trucks I ever do. Usually 3 or 4 degrees down on timing compared to a car, and more rich because they're a lot heavier and it's a lot harder on parts.
Makes sense.
Like 11.5 air fuel, 14.5 degrees. I might shove another degree, maybe a degree and a half in it right there. Make low 500.
13 pounds in this, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I still think you should do a ported blower.
Jerry, you need a ported blower.
Send this thing out to Kong, maybe
Yeah.
put a ZL1 lid on it or something.
Yeah.
You know?
The only problem is with the ZL1 lids they're outrageous right now.
I know.
They do look good. It just depends how far you want to go with it, really.
This is where things spiral.
Yeah.
And then,
He's already down that path.
I'm sure he knows.
They want to leave it there. It's not bad. I mean, drives nice, makes good power, safe. Not a race car, so you know.
It's a race truck. I still can't believe this is for his wife. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's making the rest of us look bad, man.
I know, right?
It's-
I know. My girl loves trucks too, so it's like she'll see this video and be like, huh.
right? Why don't you do anything nice for me like that?
Yeah. So just to put it this way, it's got ID 1000 or ID 1050s in it, and it's got a 56% duty cycle. So that number is really off compared to what it is actually making. He can get away with a ported blower
Yeah.
if he wants to make more. I mean, it's up to him, but this thing should be pretty fun the way it is, honestly. So
Yeah, I mean, what are these things stock? Usually like 11 pounds, 10, 11 pounds or so?
yeah.
So 13 pounds?
13, yeah. It's got a cam, so it's gonna scavenge it. So, but it's irrelevant. So, like, I think it's a perfect combination.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
Yeah.
I don't think it really needs any more. I don't think it needs 85 or anything. He's from South Carolina, and I don't think he has any of that around him. So,
Pump gas, no meth.
he literally daily it in nice weather.
Tank, that's about it.
I can't believe how nice the 6-speed shifts.
Yeah.
It's tits. It's really nice. So, he should be happy.
Yeah. Well done, Bob.
Good job, Bob.
Thank you.
So you want to talk about it?
Just come here and embrace this right here. That is nice.
It's like plumbing.
It's amazing what comes in here. And this is a real ZL1, 427, 2650 car. I mean, this thing is a nice car. And like, you get that.
That's like some F-body shit.
Dude, I wouldn't even do that to my lawnmower. Like,
Oh my god.
like my lawnmower needed like a little fuel line on it. I'd come up here and crimp a Brown & Miller together real quick. But yeah, this thing's in here because the blower is locked up. So that was lovely. Because the bolts came out of the brick, went through the rotors. Kong rebuilt it and replaced the rotors. And the crank, well, is kind of half destroyed. The front seal is leaking, and we didn't really know this until we got into it. What a crap show this is. So Fuzz pulled out the balancer, and it was pinned 4 or 5 times with a keyway. So like it's got a bunch of drills in it, but no pins in it. There was one other pin, so it had a keyway and 1 pin in it. The proper way of doing something is not pinning it at all. That's made for a stock crank without a keyway that makes 7 pounds of boost. Pinning a crank, that is not something you do in a 427, 2650 build whatsoever. The proper way to do it is dual keyway. So you have keyway on one side from the factory. All these cars came with that. And you just machine a keyway on the other side and machine the balancer for it. If other shops are listening to this, that's the proper way to do something. Because pinning it doesn't get it done. We've seen plenty of times where stuff comes in from other shops, rolls the balancer over because it's pinned. on a 2650 car, and that's just not the right way. So anyways, we talked to him about it. We're just gonna patch it back together because we are way too busy right now to be doing that. To fix it, you have to take it out, put a new crank in it. Honestly, is what it comes to. Yeah, I feel really bad for him because like just a couple things, or actually a lot of things on this thing is not proper. It's got port injection and everything on it.
Wow.
So he spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's just not done right, to be honest. He actually saw my post on the Quick 20 page with my car, and he's like, how you going 560s in the 8th, and I go 580s, 6.0s in my car? I'm like, I don't know. Like, bring it up here and we'll take a look at it. So we're gonna make him an intake like my car. He's only gonna race it like that. So I will make an intake like that. Race only. He knows it. He understands how this stuff works. Not gonna drive well. He never drives it on the street, really. Honestly, he races it, which is cool because I like people that race their stuff and better themselves and let me know what's going on instead of just dyno cleans. But yeah, I feel bad that he got kind of shafted on some stuff with this thing. And he's a really nice guy, so it's like, I don't know.
I see what you did there. Shafted.
Shafted. Yeah, literally. Literally got shafted.
You doing suspension and stuff on this thing? Or
So that's another thing. He has Mensers for it. Couldn't get it to work. He's like, what suspension you got on your car? I'm like, Mensers. And he's like, yeah, I took mine off because I couldn't get them to work. I said, bring them back up here. We're going to put them back on because it will work. We've been 123, 125 several times with my car. It could have been just an adjustment that needed to be done, you know. There's a lot of other things that play into a factor with that too.
I'm dialing it in.
That's
huge.
key. It's a lot of it's in the tuning, dude.
Yeah.
Timing of fuel is what it comes down to when it leaves and how much is in it and how much is pulled out and whatever. So he could have this thing dialed up on the starting line. Like when I go 125, it's not all the way dialed up, you know. 23 with a 2. That's
What did I tell you on the way here?
especially if you try and go down like in the 1 teens on the 60, which I know I can get there. Actually, with my car, I'm going to put a converter in it.
There you go.
I'm graduating to aftermarket converters.
Well, everybody already thought you had one anyway, so
Yeah,
you might as well.
yeah. So aftermarket converter, and I'm changing something else in it. Changing the cam actually.
Okay.
I wanted to go fast with what we had is off the shelf that we provide for everybody.
Yeah. That was the same cam you use in your stage 4s? Or
Yeah. So this cam is a little different, bigger. I'm also spinning my blower extremely hard, and that plays into a factor with the power falling off early. I need to carry up higher a little bit better, so it's officially not something I would do in our stage 4. But it's been 880 at 156 with regular bullshit, so. And it consistently went bottom 880s, 881, 882, 880, 883. I know it still has more left on the table we'll be back out shortly. I don't know when, but we are
March.
busy, yeah.
Maybe.
Well, we're going to Texas in March.
Oh, okay.
Texas 2K, so I don't know. I might not bring it. I've been talking about not bringing it down there, so.
I bought a whole car to take that still has to be built. He's like, I don't know if I'm gonna take it. All he's gotta do is put the blower back on that thing.
Literally tore the blower off to steal an injector, or a couple of injectors out of it because we had a CTSV here that we did, and a couple injectors were bad out of the box, so we were in a pinch and stole some out of that. That's kind of what that car's for.
I heard. I saw your post about that. You're having
That's
issues with
fucking
those 30
bullshit,
numbers.
man. Like, it
That
just
seems like everybody is.
dude, and the thing is, like, that's like, I don't know, what do you think, car number 3 or 4? That one, my car had a problem.
The other V, I think.
Yep, my car, and then this V. The last like 4 or 5 times, and like the cool thing about him is he will replace them, but like I can't keep affording to pull these guys off something. Pull the blower off that. It's like almost like you have to have an extra set to do, and usually we do because we have so much stuff coming in, but this time we didn't, so we had to rob mine.
It's not like you can just have a $800,000 set of injectors for $3 grand.